really is the undisputed queen of primetime TV. Shonda Rhimes, the strong leading lady behind the strong leading ladies on Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder. But behind the scenes, Rhimes has wrestled with some serious and at times debilitating vulnerabilities. She opened up to my Nightline co-anchor Juju Chang.
And so when you walk onto the set like this, you must be like giddy.
It's exciting. I mean, this is pretty magical to me.
We're getting an intimate tour of the Oval Office. Well, a Hollywood mock-up anyway. You may not recognize our guide, but chances are you've been inside Shonda Rhimes' racy daydreams.
This can't happen, not anymore.
There's been hanky-panky in here, too.
There's been a lot of interesting hanky-panky on that desk.
Stop.
No. No.
It's crazy what your imagination can build.
Shonda's imagination turned reality reaches roughly 20 million people a week with her Thursday night ABC trifecta, Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, and How to Get Away with Murder. Her world, Shondaland.
So here we are.
Yeah.
Shondaland.
Shondaland. It's a real place.
That employs 750 people?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that's
that's
a
a
lot of people, boss lady.
It is a lot of people.
Over the last 10 years, she's created bold female characters that dominate in typically male-driven industries, much like Shonda herself.
It's handled.
But one big difference, Shonda was painfully uncomfortable in the spotlight.
I'm a writer. I'm supposed to be behind the scenes, and everybody else is supposed to be in front of the stuff.
Now, she's finally in front of the cameras, the famously private woman talking about her epic struggles with anxiety and her fear of public speaking.
What physiologically happens when you're having that stage 4 panic attack?
There's a little bit of panicked breathing. There's a lot of pacing back and forth and mumbling to myself.
Despite being invited to every glamorous party in Hollywood, she'd make excuses, saying she was just too busy, until one day her sister provoked her.
I was sort of going on and on and on about like all of the invitations that I'd received. And my sister finally sort of cut in and said, "Are you going to say yes to any of these things?" And I remember being very taken aback and saying, "No, I'm busy, I can't." And her sort of looking at me like, "That's insane." And at some point just saying, "You never say yes to anything." And those words really sticking with me because she was right.
And so this became a campaign to say yes to the things that scared you.
Yeah, to say yes to things that freaked me out.
For a full year, she'd take on all those things she worked so hard to avoid. As she reveals in her new book, Year of Yes, it began with an invitation to appear on Jimmy Kimmel, whom she'd turned down so many times before.
I tip my white hat to you.
Well, welcome to OPA.
Followed by a graduation speech at Dartmouth, her alma mater.
But dreams do not come true just because you dream them. It's hard work that makes things happen. It's hard work that creates change.
And when you started saying yes, what started to happen?
It's the doing of the thing that sort of undoes the fear.
But it was more than just public appearances that Shonda would finally say yes to.
Let's talk about the F word. You call yourself fat.
I did. I got on an airplane to go to New York, and I tried to buckle the airplane seat belt, and it would not buckle. And, you know, you can call the stewardess and say, "Hey, this doesn't fit. Can I have a seatbelt extender?" Or you can maybe die by not using a seatbelt. And I decided I was going to die because there was no way I was going to, like, say out loud, "My seatbelt won't buckle."
That moment was life-changing.
I hit this point where I realized that I work really hard in every other area of my life. Why wouldn't I throw myself into being healthy and losing weight in the same way?
She eventually lost 137 pounds.
And so what do you say to people when they want to know, oh, what's your quick weight loss secret?
It's hilarious to me that everyone kept saying, like, what diet? What'd you do? Did you have surgery? There's nothing except finally deciding that it has to happen.
As her year of yes progressed, Shonda says she was finally feeling comfortable in her own skin. But with every yes, she struggled more to find time to spend with her kids. As a working single mom, she's unapologetic about setting a strong example for her 3 daughters.
Badassery. That to me
Badassery.
is a huge concept. Is that what you want for your daughters?
Absolutely. I want them to grow up to be strong. I want them to grow up to be badasses. I want them to grow up to run the world.
She's also frank about motherhood and the dirty little secret working mothers are often too afraid to talk about, that you really can't have it all.
I was literally at my daughter's first debut in her little school musical, and I missed Sandra Oh's last night filming ever at Grey's Anatomy. And it was not a question for me where I was going to be, But that was a really important moment at work, and it was a big deal that I missed it.
A big deal in part because Christina Yang was Shonda's uber-competitive alter ego come to life.
Dr. Hunt, you are blowing my concentration. Now get out of my OR.
Our sense of loyalty is very similar, and our sense of our work ethic and our feelings about relationships are very similar.
Don't let what he wants eclipse what you need. He's very dreamy, but he is not the son. You are.
So when Christina left Gray Sloan Memorial Hospital and her lover to pursue her career, it was a major statement.
And yet one of the other things that you talk about in the book is the fact that she doesn't want to get married.
No, she doesn't.
And you subliminally kind of wrote that into her storyline using your own life as a reference point.
I did, yeah. I definitely discovered that I don't want to get married, at least for now.
Do you feel like it's important for women especially to throw out that fairy tale ending in a way?
I don't know that I think women have to throw out the fairy tale ending. I just think they have to decide what their fairy tale ending is, and not go with the standard one that everyone's told them they're supposed to have.
Though Shonda's own fairy tale has made its way to a Hollywood studio lot, she says her kingdom was actually born in her mother's kitchen when she was just a child.
I spent most of my time playing inside the kitchen pantry with the cans of tomato paste, the cans of peas, the cans of corn, and they were a little
Meredith, you be.
they were a little kingdom. I remember them being this sort of amazing, exciting little kingdom for me, and I told stories.
Did you have McDreamy peas in there?
I did not have McDreamy peas.
It's a far more crowded pantry now.
Behind this store is there are all my Grays writers.
The brain trust.
Well, we have a lot of doctors in this room, doctor writers. Zoanne's a doctor, Fred's a doctor.
And is it true that she wants to operate on anyone who will allow her?
Oh, pretty much.
She wants to crack open somebody's chest cavity. That's like...
Yeah, and if any of us are pregnant, she's like, please give birth in the room so we can all have the baby.
See?
That's very funny.
And just down the hall, another group of talented writers.
These are the scandal peoples.
We have Democrats, Republicans, all mixed in.
Nobody wants to say.
At the end of her year of yes, perhaps the most unexpected result is a deeper understanding of her own badassery.
There's some weird world in which anybody gives you a compliment, your response is, oh, it's not that big of a deal.
And even you, Shonda Rhimes, creator of all this fabulousness, was like, oh no, I was lucky.
It makes you feel arrogant to sort of somehow acknowledge that you had some part in it, which is ridiculous. Own who you are and what you've done. Be proud of it.
For Nightline, I'm Juju Chang in Los Angeles.
And we should say that Shonda Rhimes' new book, Year of Yes, will be on sale tomorrow.